What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Monday, June 23rd. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Sunday was not too bad, guys. Not too bad at all. We did get off to a kind of rough start there. We had the under in that Texas Pirates game, under 9. Unfortunately, it was an 8-3 win there for the Pirates. Lighter was bad, but the Rangers bullpen was even worse. The worst day in what feels like forever from that Rangers pitching staff. So that felt like a little bit of a bad beat. We bounced right back, though. We had the Reds at -110. That was a 4-1 win behind a monster game there from Abbott, and the Reds offense got enough done there to comfortably get them the win. We had the under there in that Royals-San Diego Padres game. It was a 3-2 win there for the Padres. Both starters were very good, and we see two pretty bad offenses continue to be pretty bad. We had the over there on TJ McConnell's points. He easily cashed that for us by the third quarter. Unfortunately, a crazy result there in that Pacers. I mean, not a crazy result necessarily, but really, really sad to see Halliburton go down there with that Achilles injury. We had the Brewers at +118 as our dog of the day. An insane 9-8 win despite a bullpen collapse and Priester being terrible, but building a 9-3 lead early turned out to be pretty vital. So cashing another dog of the day there on the Brewers. We love that. Unfortunately, our lock of the day on Arizona at -205 did not come through. Fall was mediocre as expected, but the Diamondbacks bats could not get going even against one of the worst pitching staffs there in the major league. So that was annoying, but a 4-2 day and cashing our dog of the day once again. I don't think we're too upset about that. So let's go ahead and hop in here. We don't have a massive slate on Monday, but we've got a few games and I think we can find some value. So let's dive right in. And first up, we're looking at the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Rangers come into this game fresh off that 8-3 loss there at the Pirates in game 3 of that series. At 38-40 on the year, they're not exactly lighting the world on fire. They're 7 games back there in the AL West. A lot of work to do here in the second half of the season. We'll see what they can do here hitting the ball to Patrick Corbin, who's been decent, 4-6, a 3.91 ERA this year. His last start didn't look great, though, against the Royals. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and a 6-3 loss. Not exactly what the Rangers had in mind. Start for that, he was pretty good against Minnesota, but that was a game where he didn't really have to be too locked in. That was a 16-3 win there for the Rangers. Other than that, he's been pretty solid. We'll see what he can do here against Baltimore. I'm not necessarily expecting him to be lights out, but I think he'll be fine. He's generally speaking been fine overall this season. The bullpen for the Rangers has been a pretty big strength for them. I mean, 6th best, 7th best, something like that in the majors, a 3.37 bullpen ERA. I'm not going to get too upset about that if I'm really any team in the majors. The offense, though, has been problematic. They've scored 3, 3, 6, 1, 3, and 1 runs over their last few games. This is not a good team at the plate. Not a scary lineup to face. They're 28th in the majors in slugging percentage. They're 26th in batting average, batting .229 as a team. They're 27th in on-base percentage, getting on base at under a 300 clip. This is not a good offense. Not running a lot of dangerous bats up there to the plate. They're not even at full strength anymore with Berger going on the IL there with that oblique injury. So, yeah, not loving what we're seeing at the plate from the Rangers right now. So we'll see what they can do on the road here against the Orioles, who are 33-44 on the year. They just split a 4-game series against the Yankees, which is honestly not terrible. Just given what they've done this season, though, it's been such a drastic fall off from a year ago. I would assume everybody in the organization and the fans are pretty disappointed. They'll hand the ball in this game to Trevor Rogers, who has yet to figure out a result this season. He's sporting a 3.12 ERA. This is only his 3rd start of the year, and it's kind of been a tale of 2 starts. Both of these were road starts at Boston, 6 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 5, walked 0, and a 2-1 win. Then went into Tampa Bay, and things did not go the same way. He only lasted 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 4 in a 12-8 loss. So we'll see which version here of Trevor Rogers we get. I'm expecting him to do pretty well against the Rangers. I think this is a bounce back spot. He gets to pitch at home. A lot of positives lining up. I think we'll see Trevor Rogers, have a decent time out there against the Texas Rangers. Now, in terms of the bullpen for the Orioles, that's been bad, but maybe not quite as bad recently, but still a 4.50 bullpen ERA is not good, guys. Not a bullpen that we can trust at all, and not really an offense that we can trust either. They've scored 2, 0, 5, 4, 8, 5, and 1 runs over their last few games, which has honestly been better than what we've seen from them on average over the course of the season. They're still 17th in the majors in slugging percentage, which I will mention is below average, obviously. They're 23rd in batting average, batting .239 as a team, 23rd in runs scored. just not a very good offense, especially compared to what we saw last season. So looking at the numbers here, the Rangers are plus 110. The Orioles are minus 130. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Rangers are 15-24 on the road, so not a very good road team. They're 22-16-1 to the under on the road. The Orioles are 16-19 at home, 19-14-2 to the over at home. In terms of a side in this game, I'm going to lean slightly towards the Orioles at minus 130 at home under the impression that Trevor Rogers might have a nice outing. But in terms of the total here, I think this is an excellent spot to take under 9.5. I know the weather's starting to change. I know we have to transition a little bit away from these under plays, but I think this is a pretty good spot to take the under. I don't think Corbin's going to be terrible. The Rangers bullpen is excellent. The Orioles, not swinging the hottest bats. The Rangers haven't swung hot bats this season. I mean, Trevor Rogers is in for a bounce back. I think we're going to see a pretty low scoring game in this one overall. So I wouldn't hate no run first inning in this game. I wouldn't love it. I don't hate under in the first 5, and I think under 9.5 has a great chance to make the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we've got the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Braves come into this one 35-41 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 there in Miami. Not a great look there. They're having a rough time currently in third place, 11 games back in the NL East. So not killing it. They'll hand the ball to someone who has been generally killing it this year, Spencer Swellenbach. This young 25-year-old is 5-4 on the year, a 3.26 ERA. His last start was against the Mets, and he's going back up against them. 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. It was eventually a 5-4 win there for Atlanta, but Schwellenbach didn't, maybe have his best stuff. Now, he was coming off a complete game outing there against the Brewers. I'm not saying anything bad about this guy. He's been amazing this year, and at 25 years old, it's very impressive. We'll see what he looks like here running it back against the Mets. The bullpen for the Braves has been good, not dominant. A 3.73 bullpen ERA leaves room for improvement, and not as good as they were at different times last year where they were crazy good. Now, the offense for the Braves is where the problems show up. They're currently 21st in the majors in runs scored. They're 20th in slugging percentage. They're batting .245 as a team, which is 18th in the majors. Just not a lot of amazing bats out there. I mean, they've scored 3, 7, and 2 runs in that series against the Marlins. They're about to go up against the Mets team that they swept in Atlanta not too long ago. So maybe they can, lean on that a little bit, but I'm a little bit worried here about the Atlanta Braves. We'll see what they can get done here against the Mets, who are still having a real bad time. They've lost, what is it up to now, 9 out of their last 10 or something like that. They managed to win 1 out of 3 there in Philadelphia. They lost on Sunday Night Baseball last night, 7-1. So yeah, they're not doing great. They'll hand the ball in this game to Paul Blackburn. He's 0-1 on the year, a 6.92 ERA. He's only made 4 outings. 2 of them were starts, and they have not been looking great. He got shelled by Tampa Bay. His last time out got shelled by Atlanta. I don't know, guys. I'm not really feeling it. This seems like a pretty rough spot for him. The Mets bullpen's been struggling. Even something that's been a huge strength for them is turning into a little bit of a weakness. Still looking good overall, but recently it's been a little bit bleak, and the offense has disappeared. They scored 1, 11, 2, 1, and 0 over their last few games. I don't know, guys. It's not great. Alvarez getting sent down to the minors. I mean, they're 17th in batting average, 5th in slugging percentage, 6th in on-base percentage, but I'm not as scared of this Mets lineup as I was early in the year. So looking at the numbers, the Braves are actually minus 125 here with Schwellenbach on the mound. The Mets are plus 105. We've got a total of 8.5. Atlanta is 13-26 on the road, 20-17-2 to the under on the road. The Mets are 27-10 at home. That's actually an MLB best mark at home. They're 20-15-2 to the under at home. I'm not too interested in under in this game necessarily. That would be the side of the, the over-under that I would be on is the under, but I don't love it. I think this is actually a pretty good spot to take the Braves at minus 125. It's not a price tag that I love, but with Schwellenbach on the mound, it seems reasonable. The Mets are just falling apart right now, so maybe we see Atlanta come away with a win here. Also, the Mets just playing in Philadelphia on Sunday Night Baseball, then they had to travel to get to Atlanta, to get back to New York, so I mean, it's not like that's a bad trip or anything like that, but just not really loving this spot for the Mets. Rolling along here, guys, we've got the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The Yankees come into this one 45-32 on the season, fresh off of winning 2 out of 3 there against the Orioles. They'll hand the ball here to Alan Wyans. He comes up to make his first start of the season here. 29-year-old minor leaguer. We'll see what he's got out there in the big league mound, but not somebody that I am super enthusiastic about. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he'll be fine, but we'll see. The Yankees clearly searching for something to turn things around. The bullpen's still looking okay, a 3.46 bullpen ERA. I know they just won 2 out of 3 against the Orioles, but the Yankees are struggling, and they got teams hot on their heels. The Rays are 2.5 games back. Toronto is 4 games back. Like, the Yankees kind of got to figure something out at some point. Like, they've been getting destroyed by the Red Sox, the Angels. Like, I don't know. Things are not looking great right now for the Yankees. The bats seemingly have reawakened. We'll see if that continues here, but yeah, I don't know, just a ton of injuries happening to the Yankees. So they're going to have to figure something out here as they go up against the Reds, who are 40-38 on the year. They just managed to win 1 out of 3 against the Cardinals. We were on the Reds yesterday, though, and that 4-1 win cashed for us. So slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing that win there on the Reds yesterday. They'll hand the ball in this game to Nick Lodolo, who's 5-5 on the season, a 3.71 ERA. His last start was pretty good against the Twins. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, so not bad there. That was that weird rain-shortened game, which I'm pretty sure we were actually on the Reds in that game as well. So we'll definitely take it, but kind of a weird situation. He did bounce back and, threw the ball really well. We'll see what he does here against the Yankees. That could be a little bit of a tough team to face, but I like Lodolo. He's a lefty. There's some positives about him being on the mound in this one for sure. Now, the Reds bullpen has shown great stuff at different points this year. Recently, some bumps in the road down to or up to, depending on how you want to look at it, a 4.10 bullpen ERA, but I think they're going to be pretty okay in this matchup. We'll see, though. It is the Yankees, so weird things can happen. But the bullpen seems okay in terms of the, offense. That seems great. Obviously, we saw Elly De La Cruz dealing with the heat a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. They're going to be in Cincinnati. It'll be a little bit cooler, maybe, but this has been a good offense. They're 10th in runs scored, 12th in slugging percentage. I was pretty low on this team coming into the season, and they have proven me wrong at the plate. We've seen lots of good stuff, especially Elly De La Cruz, showing a lot of improvement at the plate. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Yankees are minus 125. The Reds are plus 105. We've got totals out there of 9.5 or 10. The Yankees are 21-16 on the road, 19-16-2 to the under on the road. The Reds are 20-17 at home, 20-15-2 to the under at home. Given these trends, I wouldn't hate taking under 10. That's a pretty big number, but I don't like that much. I do like the Reds here at plus 105 with Lodolo on the mound going up against, a minor league starter there for the Yankees. I think there's a decent chance the Reds can come away with the win in this game. It's a pretty short slate. I think we have to at least consider Cincinnati at plus 105 as a potential dog of the day. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick reminder of the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row. It is off to a great first half of the season. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for Stump the Spread over there at StumpTheSpread.com. We have a monster that's had many more years than me of covering MLB every single season. He's in the trenches. He's got some very sophisticated tools and algorithms he uses to help him make his predictions. He's taking every possible data point that you can imagine into consideration: weather, history in ballparks, history against different pitchers, lefties, righties, all just a crazy amount of stuff. If you can imagine a variable, it's likely being taken into account by this guy. A ton of work goes into those premium picks every single day, so definitely check those out when you get over there, and especially get over there to get on the free email newsletter. It's absolutely free. All they need is your name and your email address to set up a free account. That'll get you on the email list, and you'll be getting an email every single day straight to your inbox with at least one, usually like 2 free picks at this point. We're working some NBA or some WNBA in the mix with the MLB stuff, and all kinds of good information on niche betting like golf, NASCAR, you name it, it could end up in there. So definitely get on that free email list. And also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, and actually, shout out to a huge fan right now, Andrew Choi, for the $25 donation. Man, he's an OG of the channel. Really appreciate you. Let's see if we can find some more wins out here on Monday. But guys, if you're a huge fan like Andrew Choi, sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members get early access to all of our videos. They get their name up on screen in every video, but more importantly, you get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie at the end of June. So June 30th or 29th or July 1st, somewhere right in there. Make sure you're a channel member and you'll be in there. You'll be able to see just like we did back on the 21st. You can even go back to that video and check if you want and see the giveaway that we ran there, giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie or a t-shirt. If you'd rather have a t-shirt, it's the summertime, I understand. So definitely consider signing up for a channel membership. But let's go ahead and jump back in here, guys. We've got a few more games to cover on a kind of light Monday slate. And next up, we'll be looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the Chicago White Sox. The Diamondbacks Sox have not been having the easiest road lately. I mean, they did just lose 1 out of 3 there against the Rockies. You're not really supposed to be losing games to the Rockies, though. We'll see how it goes for this team that's just 1 game over 500 now. They'll hand the ball to Eduardo Rodriguez. He's 2-4 on the year, a 5.93 ERA. His last start, he was actually pretty good, and he's been decent over his last 3 outings. At Cincinnati, he was good. At home against Seattle, he was pretty good. And then at Toronto, he was serviceable. Now, the Diamondbacks are only 1-2 over those starts and 2-3 over his last 5. We'll see what he can do here against the White Sox, not a team you're supposed to lose to, generally speaking, but we'll see what Rodriguez can do. The bullpen for Arizona has been a problem this year, just like it was last year. A 5.25 bullpen ERA leaves a lot to be desired. The offense is supposed to carry them. They only scored 2 runs on Sunday. That's embarrassing stuff. 2, 5, 14, and 9 over their last few games, though. They're currently sitting at, the 3rd in the majors in runs scored, 7th in batting average, batting .255 as a team, 3rd in slugging percentage as well. Like, this is a pretty dangerous lineup, so we'll see. You would expect them to put up a bunch of runs against the White Sox, but maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't. The White Sox come into this game 25-53 on the year. They did just win 2 out of 3 there against the Blue Jays, though. They'll hand the ball in this one to Shane Smith, who's shown some good stuff at different points in the year. This young 25-year-old's 3-4 on the season, a 2.85 ERA. His last start, not great. Got shelled there by the Cardinals. 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned. Didn't have his best stuff, didn't have his best control, and that was a big letdown after, back-to-back really good starts shutting down Houston and shutting down Detroit. The White Sox were actually 3-1 over his last 4 starts, which is pretty impressive for a team as bad as the White Sox. Now, whenever he has to come out of the game, the White Sox bullpen is not very good. A 4.26 bullpen ERA, but the offense finding its way a little bit. 4, 1, 7, and 6 runs over their last few games. Obviously not a great offense. 28th in the majors in runs scored in last, batting .221 as a team, but they're, swinging maybe slightly warmer bats given that they're the White Sox. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at the numbers, the Diamondbacks are minus 125. The White Sox are plus 105. We've got a total of 8.5 or 9. Arizona is 19-20 on the road, 20-17-2 to the over on the road. The White Sox are 16-21 at home, 21-13-3 to the over at home. Given these trends, I'm going to lean just slightly towards over 8.5 in this game, but in terms of a side, I kind of wanted to like the White Sox here, but the price tag just isn't good enough. The odds maker's giving a ton of respect here to Shane Smith, so I'll still lean slightly towards the White Sox, but nothing from this game is going in the pinned comment. Cruising through these games, we're looking at an NL Central showdown between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Pirates come into this game 31-48 on the season. They just won 1 out of 3 against the Rangers. Not exactly having a good time. They'll hand the ball in this game to Brandon Ashcraft. This young 25-year-old, normally a bullpen guy, and it seems like this is basically going to be a bullpen-style start. Now, they'll let him go as long as he can keep his pitch count reasonable and, be showing some success, and he's been pretty good. His last time out was on the 20th against the Rangers, so he's going to be pitching here on the 23rd, so I don't think they're going to let him go super long. I would say 2, maybe 3 innings will be the max, and he has been good. We'll see how good he is against the Milwaukee Brewers. Has he faced the Brewers yet? No, he has not faced the Brewers yet this year. Oh, he hasn't even been up with the big league team that long this season. But regardless, I like him on the mound a decent amount, not a ton. The Pirates' bullpen has been slowly improving down to a 3.99 bullpen ERA. Is definitely significant steps in the right direction for a bullpen that was pretty terrible at different points this season. Now, the offense, coming off an 8-run game, I'm sure feels great, but there's a case to be made this is the worst offense in the majors. They are last in runs scored. That's a pretty important metric right there. They are also last in slugging percentage. They're batting .227 as a team, which is 28th in the majors. Just not a lot of great offensive numbers coming out of this Pirates team. So we'll see what they can get done here on the road against the Milwaukee Brewers, who just swept the Twins, making us an awful lot of, pretty good spots. Some pretty good spots for this. They're taking the Brewers as the dog of the day. Now, the last game was pretty wild. 17 hits, but they come away with the sweep and a 9-8 win, so we'll take it. They'll hand the ball in this one to Chad Patrick, who's 3-7 on the season, a 3.50 ERA. His last couple of games, he has not looked like himself. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs against Atlanta. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs against the Cubs. Not great. And, the Pirates, or the Brewers, rather, have lost each of his last 2 starts, or actually each of his last 3 starts, even though he was very good against the Padres. So we'll see if he can bounce back here against the Pirates. A pretty good bounce back spot for anyone, I will say. Now, the Brewers bullpen, a 4.37 bullpen ERA does concern me. Not going to lie and act like it does, and it's not a very good bullpen. The offense, though, has come alive. 9, 17, and 8 runs over their 4-game winning streak they're currently on. They're hitting the ball better than they've hit it really at any point this year. Over the course of the season, They're 11th in runs scored, but 24th in slugging and 18th in batting average. They've got some decent bats out there. I like Christian Yelich a decent amount. Like, they've got some guys that are hitting the ball, but I don't know if I'm 100% sold. So we'll see what goes on in this one. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers love the Brewers here. The Pirates are plus 170. The Brewers are minus 205. We've got a total of 8.5. The Pirates are 11 and 27 on the road this year. That's pretty terrible. 23, 13, and 2 to the under on the road. Milwaukee, 23 and 15 at home, a very good home team. 24, 13, and 1 to the under at home. So the question that confronts us in this game is, do we trust Chad Patrick? I would say I trust him a little bit. I do think the Brewers offense will probably keep going here. Getting to go up against a bullpen start from the Pirates doesn't feel like a bad situation. Now, the Brewers bullpen is concerning. Their offense is in the ball well. The Pirates offense, though, is not. They're coming off of an 8-run game. I don't expect them to really be able to replicate that. So we have to at least consider the Brewers, who have been such a good home team, as a possible lock of the day at minus 205. We're going to put them on the list. We've got a few more games to break down, so we'll see if they make it, but they're definitely a possibility. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Mariners, 39 and 37 on the season. They're in second place out there in the AL West. They're 5 games back of Houston, though, so they're probably a little bit irritated about that. They'll hand the ball in this one to Brian Wu, who's 6 and 4 on the season, a 3.12 ERA. His last start was against the Red Sox, and he was incredible. 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed, struck out 6 and walked 2, and was eventually an 8-0 win there for the Mariners. Now, that was a huge bounce back for him after, I would say, at least 3 bad outings, maybe even up to 4. He hasn't had the smoothest sailing this year, but maybe he figured things back out. We'll see what he looks like here against the Twins. He did face them back on the last day there of May, or the second to last day of May. 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Not terrible. He did give up a couple home runs in that game, and it was that crazy extra inning game where the Twins went nuts and won 12-6 in extra innings. So we'll see what Wu looks like in this one. I'm expecting him to be fine, not amazing. I'm also expecting the Mariners bullpen to be fine and not amazing. That's kind of been the way their bullpen's been all year long. The offense, coming off a 14-run game, I'm sure feels great. They've scored 14, 7, and 9 over their last few. The offense very much coming alive there. I mean, Raleigh, dude put up his 31st home run. Crazy stuff there. But the Mariners offense overall, it's been drastically better than last year. I mean, I'm not ready to throw them a parade yet, but it's been really good. So we'll see what they do here against the slumping Twins, who are having a really rough time. Just got swept there by the Brewers. They'll hand the ball to Bailey Ober in this game, who's 4 and 4, a 4.54 ERA, not having the season he imagined at all. His last time out, he got shelled there by the Reds, got shelled by, like, his last 3 starts have all been terrible. His start back on the 31st against the Mariners, 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and gave up a home run in that game. In a game we eventually saw the Twins lose 5-4 in extra innings. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Twins bullpen nosediving in the wrong direction. A 4.34 bullpen ERA is horrendous. The offense coming off an 8-run game where they lost. That's got to be really depressing. And the offense hasn't been great this year in general. 20th in runs scored, 21st in batting average. Not a lot of scary bats out there. So looking at the numbers, the Mariners are minus 116. The Twins are minus 102. We've got a total of 8.5. The Mariners are 19 and 18 on the road. 20, 16, and 1 to the over on the road. Minnesota is 20 and 15 at home, 18, 16, and 1 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total here, guys, but I'm definitely interested in the Mariners at minus 116. I'm just not liking anything I'm seeing from the Twins right now. Going up north a little bit is probably going to feel good there for the Mariners. So, yeah, give me Seattle at minus 116. A good hard look at this one. It could be in the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we got a pretty exciting rivalry series there in the NL Central. We've got the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cubs and Cardinals have pretty much been the top 2 teams most of the season there in the NL Central, but the Brewers are now in the mix. The Cardinals are 4.5 games back, so a pretty important series here. The Cubs come into this one fresh off of losing 2 out of 3 against the Mariners and 3 out of their last 4 overall. They'll hand the ball to young Ben Brown, hoping he can get them back on track. He's 4 and 5 on the season, a 5.57 ERA. His last start was actually really good. It was against the Brewers, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and it was eventually a 5-3 win. So good stuff there. A nice bounce back after getting shelled by the Phillies and having a little bit of trouble, but mostly pitching out of it there against Detroit. We'll see what he looks like here against the Cardinals. Not a team he's faced yet this season, but a team he's going to face some more this year. We'll see. They have not been an easy team necessarily. Now, the Cubs bullpen has been pretty good. A 3.53 bullpen ERA, not a lot to complain about there. The offense, also not terrible. Even recently, where they've slumped a bit. I mean, 6, 10, 4, and 7 runs over their last 4 games. Now, they lost 3 out of those 4 games, so we'll see if they can turn that aspect around. They're the second highest scoring team in the majors. They're 9th in batting average, like a ton of scary bats there for the Cubs. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Cardinals, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Reds, but lost the final game of that series 4-1, as we predicted. Now, the Cardinals will hand the ball in this game to Matthew Liberatore. He's been on a little bit of a roller coaster this season. He's 4-6, a 4.08 ERA. His last time out, he was pretty good, but that was at the White Sox. And 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against the White Sox. Cool. It was in a 12-2 win. He didn't really have to do a lot of pressure pitching there. He had struggled before that for a few starts, having a rough time against Toronto, Kansas City, and the Rangers. So we'll see what he does here against the Cubs. I don't believe, no, he has not faced them yet this season. I'm not super stoked about Liberatore on the mound in this one for St. Louis. Now, the bullpen's been getting better and better. A 3.94 bullpen ERA doesn't look great, but considering how bad they were at other points of the season, it's not a huge problem. The offense, obviously only putting up 1 run in their last game is bad, but generally speaking, they've been swinging the bats pretty well, and over the course of the year, they are 5th in on-base percentage, 8th in runs scored, batting .255 as a team. That's 8th in the majors. Like, this is a pretty good team at the plate. So, looking at the numbers, I'm not too shocked to see this basically a coin flip. The Cubs are minus 108. The Cardinals are minus 110. We've got a total of 9. The Cubs are 21-16 on the road, 19-14-4 to the over on the road. St. Louis, 24-15 at home, 21-16-2 to the over at home. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Cubs in this one at minus 108. I trust Ben Brown slightly more than I trust Liberatore, but I don't really care too much about the side, and to be honest, I'm not showing a ton of value on this game. I will lean slightly towards the over, but an over on a Monday doesn't necessarily feel amazing to me either. So generally speaking, a stay away spot, but I would be shocked if we don't find some value in this series overall. Cruising right along, we're looking at the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. The Red Sox just lost 2 out of 3 there in San Francisco. That can't feel good, especially after the trade. They'll hand the ball in this one to Walker Buehler, who's 5-5 this year, a 5.95 ERA. I mean, Burrow's been having a rough time. He's been going through it. I mean, the Red Sox are 1-4 over his last 5 starts. He just got obliterated there at Seattle, just getting destroyed by the Mariners. So not a lot of big positives to look at for Walker Buehler. We'll see what he can do against the Angels. Not a team that he's faced yet this season, but not going to be holding my breath for this guy to have a good outing. The bullpen for Boston's been pretty solid. 6th best in the majors, a 3.35 bullpen ERA. Definitely not a problem there. The offense is not improving after that trade. I'll tell you what, they've scored 5, 2, 7, and 3 runs over their last few games. They're 7th in the majors in runs scored still, and all those kind of numbers are way skewed now. This is a different look for this team's lineup. So we'll see what they can do on the road here against the Angels, who are 37-40 on the year. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, losing 2 out of 3 against the Astros, and losing 8-7 in their last game. That's a little bit rough. The Angels will hand the ball in this one to Jack Kohanowitz. Not usually the most fun thing to do. He's 3-8 on the year, a 5.38 ERA. His last start was one of his better ones. I guess I have to admit his last 2 outings were okay, but 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs, and a 2-0 loss at Baltimore, and 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Both of them were home runs, and a 3-2 win against the Yankees. I mean, he did strike out 8 against the Yankees, so maybe I'm being a little bit too hard on the kid. He is only 24 years old. We'll see what he can do here against Boston. Should be a little bit easier to face them now than it would have been earlier in the season. I'm not expecting miracles from the pitching staff in general from the Angels, though. They still have the 3rd worst bullpen in all of Major League Baseball. And the offense, I mean, they scored 7, 9, 2, and 3 runs over their last few games, which is better than average for, what is generally a pretty horrible offense. They're last in the majors in on-base percentage. They're 2nd to last in batting average. Not a great offense. Not a great offense. So looking at the numbers here, the Red Sox are minus 125. The Angels are plus 106. We've got a total of 9 out there. Boston 18-22 on the road, 21-19 to the over on the road. The Angels are 16-18 at home and a 500 over-under team at home. This isn't a game where I'm having tons of interest. If you're begging me for a side, I will lean slightly towards the Angels at plus 106, just praying to God that Kohanowitz can continue to throw the ball well, but that seems like a really big ask to me. So in general, I'm going to stay away from this game. There's no way I'm backing Walker Buehler. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. No numbers out as of yet for this game, so we'll have to leave this as a wait and see spot, but I at least wanted to discuss it here on a short slate. Now, the Nationals come into this game. They just won 1 out of 3 against the Dodgers, which you can't expect to do too much better than that. Losing 13-7, though, had to feel a little bit weird in the last game of that series. Now, they'll hand the ball in this one to Mitchell Parker, who's 4-8 on the year, a 4.59 ERA. Not exactly having the season that they would have imagined imagined for him, but his last amount, he was good. 6 innings, 6 hits, a single earned run allowed, struck out 8 and walked 0. Unfortunately, that was a 3-1 loss against the Rockies, and the Nationals are 0-5 over his last 5 starts, but I would say only 2 of those were truly his fault. So I don't hate how Mitchell Parker's been throwing the ball recently. We'll see what he can do against the Padres. Not a team he's faced this year, but not the scariest offensive team. So we'll see. Maybe he could have 2 good outings in a row. It's not impossible. Now, the Nationals' bullpen's been a huge problem. An ERA hovering around 6. A big Achilles heel for this young team to have. Now, the offense, 7, 5, 4, and 1 runs scored over their last few games. They're not swinging the hottest bats, but not the coldest bats. They are 18th in the majors in runs scored, but in the 20s in most of the other categories. Like, I don't think this is a very good offensive team, but I don't think they're terrible. I would expect them to finish around 20th in the majors, something like that. So, baby steps in the right direction. We'll see what they can do here against the Padres, who at 42-35 on the season and currently 5 games back there in the NL West, they're not exactly having the year they would have imagined. Now, they did just win 2 out of 3 against the Royals, so I'm sure that's fun. Iglesias driving in that winning run and getting the ice bath, but I don't know. I'm just not that high on the Padres. They'll hand the ball in this game to Stephen Kolek, who's 3-2 this year, a 3.59 ERA. His last start was against the Dodgers, 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Not amazing, but, not terrible by any stretch. He kept his team in the game. We'll see what he can do here against a squad like the Nationals. And the last time he faced, he's had some really good outings against some terrible offenses. He had a complete game there against the Rockies back in May. So I'm expecting pretty good stuff here from Stephen Kolek in this game in general. Now, the Padres bullpen, it's been great all year long. They're 4th best in terms of bullpen ERA and not showing any signs of slacking off. The offense, 3, 5, 5, 5, and 3 runs over their last few. We finally saw Fernando Tatis hit his 14th home run of the season. It felt like he'd been stuck on 13 forever. This team is just not nearly as good offensively as I would have expected. 18th in runs scored, 23rd in slugging percentage, 18th in on-base percentage. They're just not that great. They're like an MLB average offense at best. A huge fall off from what we saw from them early in the year. So we'll see what happens in this game. Like I said, it's a wait-and-see spot with no numbers posted yet at all, but Washington 16-22 on the road, 18-2 to the over-under on the road. The Padres 23-13 at home, 21-14-1 to the under at home. So those are the trends. We just have to wait for the numbers. Guys, that's all the games we have for Monday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets today and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you that watches these videos. Click the link in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com and check out all the free stuff we offer over there. And also check out the premium picks if you're interested in taking your sports betting to the next level. We'll be right back here, guys. Same time tomorrow, same place. We'll have lots more sports betting action.